And we've already got a hand raised, so that's awesome. So, welcome, 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 everybody. It is time for the Imaginators. Almost forgot about that, too. I was just getting into so many things. And we're just so happy and glad to have you with us today. Just a lot of great things going on. And of course, it is April 21st. And we are just very happy to have you with us. It is 12 p.m. Pacific on this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time it happens to be where you are, because you are watching us right now. So, a couple of things before we get started and get things rolling here. Congratulations, everybody. And again, we can't say it enough. Thank you very much for promoting our channel. 7,129 subscribers. And going forward, 7,200 is on its way, 8,000 even more, 10,000, 100,000. Let's keep it growing. And we have you to thank for it. So thank you again for helping us promote. And I don't know if he's here or not, but we do have a new Imaginator among us. Donald Gaw, thank you so much and
Whoop, whoop.
welcome to the Imaginators crew. We're happy to have you on board with us and to help us and to be a part of our amazing group. So thank you very much, Donald. Welcome. And again, if you want to promote others to be part of the Imaginators, roberthollis.com/join. Very simple to do. They can choose to either be Imaginators, or with Inner Circle, you get both Imaginators and Inner Circle. So, that two ways to go and more to come. Lots of great things on this amazing channel, and it's because of each and every one of you. All right, so if you would like to share and raise your hand, that's very simple to do. Corky's already started, so we'll be getting to him shortly after we hear a little bit from Robert. To do so, you can always ask your question in the chats, whether it's on Zoom or on YouTube. And by the way, if you're on YouTube and you want to join us in Zoom, the link is at the top of the YouTube chat. So click on that, and then you can join us here in Zoom and then ask Robert a question personally. And that's what we love about Imaginators or Inner Circle, is you get to talk to him personally, and it's very simple to do. Put your cursor on the middle of the screen in Zoom. Then on the bottom, you'll see a bunch of buttons. One of those is reactions. Click on that, click on raise hand, and we will call on you. If you don't see the reactions button, then look for the more button, which has 3 dots on it. Click on that more button and then click on reactions and then click on raise hand, and boom, you're in and you can chat with Robert. The beauty of Imaginators is we get to imaginate together as a group, as a family, as a team. And that is why we are here. So we thank you so much for joining us. No more time to be wasted with the introductions. Let's get things rolling on this beautiful Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our Imaginator-in-Chief, Robert Hollis!
Craig, you're the master of ceremonies. You are the best. There's only one person that I know that's close to you, and that's Bruce Buffer. When he does the main event for UFC, and he's like, "It's time," and it's like, wouldn't that be a good imagination for Craig to have 20, 30,000 people in like a giant stadium, and they all know what he's going to do. So what they do is they all do it exactly at the same time. Yeah, there's an imagination right there. So Craig, thank you so much. And you guys know what we've been doing on Imaginators is starting out with just a couple of short videos. So I want to stay in that frame just to entertain you guys a little bit. And hopefully this will stretch your imagination. If it doesn't, we're going to find out why. All right. So here we go. Thank you, Craig. Everybody give Craig a hand. That's cool. Can you guys see how much training I could go into here? but I got to show you something else because I want it to be obvious here. All right, so let me go to share here. Okay, so did you hear the guy in the first ESPN clip call him Chuck? It's not Chuck. It's Kurt. All right. Holds a Guinness Book of World Record. He's won multiple championships, right? And shows the other guys that are competing against him. But then I wanted to go to here and professional stone skipper salary. You know, around $42 an hour. Oh man. So how many people are sort of giggling at this? You know that I love these, right? This inspires the shit out of me because you got to find something that gives you joy. Now, here's something I want you guys to see, right? We all know that if someone walked up to him afterwards and found out that he made a full-time income throwing rocks, skipping rocks on water, you know what? I need you to listen to people because people will tell you who they are if you shut up and listen to them. And it's like, you make how much skipping rocks? I make a full-time income. How many times have you thrown a rock? See, it's like there should be a noise going off in your head when people ask stupid freaking questions like that. Right? How long you been throwing rocks? And do you find some water better than the other water? Should you throw during the morning or the nighttime? Where do you get your rocks? Okay, here's another thought that I wanted you guys to get out of this is someone came up to him and did this guy a huge disservice. A huge disservice. They said, we would like to do a quick little video and documentary on you so you can explain to people the things they need to do to make money skipping rocks or getting good at skipping rocks. A, he's seen somebody else do it. B, he got passionate about it and practiced. And then broke the Guinness Book of World Record. That's probably an imagination. And then the other imagination was to break his own record. Another imagination is I'd like to compete. And now that he's winning and got the Guinness Book of World Records, do you guys realize that this guy has a full-time agent and manager? Because people are constantly going, oh my God, we got to entertain people. How will we entertain people? Hey, I seen this dude that won the Guinness Book of World Records for skipping stones. What do you think he charges to come see? So when people ask him, do you guys ever see yourself explaining to people the way he did? See, it's passionate for him. He tells you later in the video that by mastering something, it not only makes you go, wow, but it's like it's a spiritual thing when you can do something and people are like, wow, and they get inspired and they feel something. That's the ticket. But no, they said, well, the video is going to be probably 10 minutes. We'll edit it. So they probably had him for a half hour and they go, what are the most important things? Well, there's 6 key things. There's pitch, speed, velocity, velocity, Didn't you guys see when he went into explaining all the shit about it? You guys went, holy shit, there's probably a little more to throwing rocks than I know. I didn't know that there was this much information and it was this complicated. Yes or no? Were you guys blown away when he started to, hey, and it's also how you place your legs, and it's also how you throw. And now all of a sudden everyone's going, oh my God, he took something that gives him joy, that gives people other joy when they see him do it. And then someone asked him how he did it, and he made it complicated. I'm telling you guys this from personal experience. I get caught up and saying too much shit to people. Still to this day, instead of getting them to imagine, I go into all the shit they need to do. And you give them too much and they gloss over and do nothing. Anyone guilty? Remember this video. Just remember this video when some of you are going, hey, do you know anyone that would be interested in making some extra money? What is this? And then you guys need to just cue the video to where they talk about, well, there's 6 things. And you start destroying a person's imagination because you make it complicated. You give them too many links. What does this have to do with Imaginators? Everything. Because the way that you need to share what you do and what you do with what you get has to be simple. Have you ever seen a child's face when they pet an animal? See, I didn't ask them. Have you ever seen a child's face when they're petting an animal? I remember going to a petting zoo. I just loved it. Have you ever seen a child's face when they open up a gift? Are you guys clicking here? How would I do this in business? You guys hear me do it, but I don't think you get why I do it. So if I said, I want you to imagine something. See, I don't know if you're like me. Me too's. I don't know if you're like me, but I was blown away when someone sent me a credit card. It was like free money. I get this card. I find out it's got a balance of $500 on it, and I like go bananas. I wasn't interested in using the credit card to pay off bills. It's party time. Gonna take Terry out to eat. Gonna do some nice things. I'm gonna buy her something nice. How many people are with me? Okay. There's only one other time I've been excited about a credit card. Only one other time. And if you haven't experienced this, I need to make you experience this. So I find this guy that opens up my imagination. Of course, my limit on my credit cards, I don't know how many of you guys have done this. It's sort of a skill. But my balance, what I owed was actually higher than the limit on my card. Do you guys know anyone that's ever pulled this off? Right. And it's, you're paying minimum payments on it. And so what if I could show you a way to share a video with people, and by them changing their buying habits, you start earning enough money to actually really pay down your largest credit card. And as you're paying it down just to get out of debt, because this would feel awesome, wouldn't it? You get a letter or a notice, an email notice or a text message, and it says, hey, We just expanded your credit. We just gave you more credit on your credit card. Has any one of you gotten one of those? How does it feel? Because if you're paying down your credit cards and then your credit cards give you a higher limit, spending limit, then it drops the percentage that you owe and your credit score goes up. How would it feel to start paying down your debt? Your credit score goes up, and you start getting people sending you pre-approved for credit cards. How would that feel to be going in a different direction financially? Now that you're paying down your debt, and this is making you feel good, your credit report's going up. Is there anything that you would do with that little extra money? Because we'll start paying down credit card debt. Your credit will go higher. Is there anything that you've ever put off because your credit was too bad? Yeah. What? My wife hates that couch, complains about that freaking couch every day. Well, now that your credit score is higher, you could go look for a new couch and get a new couch for her. But guess what? Because your credit's good and you're below 30%, they'll give you a furniture credit card too. And can you guys believe this furniture shop says, no payment for 5 years? Yeah, how do they do this stuff? I don't know. Maybe a new bed. Okay, what else could you do? I've always wanted to get a more reliable car. What would that feel like? See, I'm focused always on imagination, getting them in that small state, and from that small state, taking them to bigger states. So now your income's $2,000 a month. Now your income's $5,000 a month. Now what do you do? New home. Maybe move to a place that's a little not so scary. Take a vacation. We've always wanted to go to Disney World. We've always wanted to go to Disneyland. Do you know what that cost? No, we do not. Let's figure it out. If helping someone with their imagination and their little imagination doesn't put them in action, honestly, what could you do to get them into action? Get them to watch a 2-hour training video? When you guys understand imagination, your whole world's going to change. But just because we started talking about the Imaginators a couple of months ago doesn't mean that you guys have developed the habit of staying in imagination mode. You guys should have reminders everywhere. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about opening up your awareness to again make you realize that you do it every day. So my wife and I went to bed the other night. What night was that? Wednesday night. And boom, Terry almost falls out of bed. The whole bed just fell on her side. And we have these middle things in the center of the bed. So when it went this way and hit the ground, then it pulled this side of the bed out of the frame. So then when she rolled out of it, boom, it went down on my side. So get up in the middle, get up. It wasn't too late. It was like 1 o'clock at night, but it was pretty damn funny. Thought we were going to die. And I'd get up and immediately, because I was poor at one time. Anybody remember being poor? I knew exactly how to fix the book. I fixed the bed. I go, Terry, you got any books in here? Yeah, I got books. Start handing me books. How many people know what I'm talking about? Hey, when you know how to fix a bed instead of buying a bed, I'm just telling you, I'm not too far away from being the Bobby I've always been. Right? So me putting books underneath the two sides, and now awareness, immediate awareness. How do you think we crawl back into bed? Really slow. That's called bam, awareness. You know what I mean? Uh, when I roll, I don't know if some of you changed positions while you're sleeping. I know I was sleeping, but still, why was I careful? Why was I slow as I'm rolling? Because I don't want to get Terry thrown out of the bed, right? But I didn't sleep very well. Do you guys think that I was worried about somebody getting hurt, Terry getting hurt? Do you guys think that I was worried about money or not being able to afford a new bed if we needed to go that direction? Why wouldn't I sleep well? Because I couldn't stop imagining in my head on how I was going to fix the frickin' bed. Do any of you I know what I got to do tomorrow, and I'm in my mind, I'm going angle irons, I could put it here. And then if I did this, well, I might as well take the whole bed apart and do all four corners. And I can't shut my brain off. I wasn't fixing the bed. I was imagining fixing the bed. Hope the drill got battery charged. I hope it's got the right bit. I hope I got the right drill bit. I'm gonna have to take it apart. Then I'm gonna have to go to Ace to get the parts. And you guys are never gonna believe this. I walk up to the guy and he goes, "Can you help me?" And I did this. I go, "Absolutely. I need some bolts." 8 of them. Give me 9 just in case I lose one. I need 16 washers. I need 4 angle pieces. Do you guys do this? Or am I the only weirdo on the planet that actually will shut my eyes for a second and imagine in the head that kept me up all night on exactly what I imagined on how to fix the bed? Do you guys do anything else in your head? How about everything? How about everything? So everyone's going, I don't know how to imagine. I wanted to let you know that you're doing it all day, every day. So now let's talk briefly about 2 points and then we'll go on. If you've hung around me, have you ever heard this pretty weird thought? This is a weird thought that if you guys haven't listened to it, I know that I bring it up all the time, but when the student's ready, the teacher appears. So The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, which, by the way, Craig will find it. There's supposed to be some kind of magic that happens when you listen to this for 30 days in a row. Now, people go, how do you know that? He says it in the audio. So you listen to it in the hour audio, which, by the way, I'd like to Google this. There's never been a spoken audio that has had more downloads or more album sales than The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And it's a preface and everything, every book. And it's this concept saying, really, let me just break it down. You become what you think about the most. There's the strangest secret. I'm sorry I ruined it for you. Still listen to the audio. But the strangest secret is we become what we think about the most. Where thought goes or imagination goes, so does energy flow. We hear this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Renewing of the mind. Think of yourself as the person that you're going to become, the wonderful becoming, instead of thinking about your present and the past. Stop beating the shit out of yourself. It doesn't say anywhere, keep the old mind, keep the old person. It says renew the mind. How much should we do this? Scripturally, all the time. All day we need to be in imagination of things of way we want to become and the future that we want to have. And by staying in the consistency of that and consistently expanding our imagination, miraculously it comes. Have we heard this? So how many of us would be willing to admit that sometimes during the day, we do the exact opposite of that? We think about how worthless we are and how wrong we are and how much we suck and why do I procrastinate? Why don't I believe in doing this? Why do I keep reverting back to old habits? I don't know. Maybe you've done those more than the new habits. Duh. But when you really think of life, it's just so simple that it's really irritating. Because everybody thinks from poor and happy, poor and happy is like miles apart. And so that's why they say the faith is the size of a mustard seed. It's the smallest seed because when you're imagining great things in your life in the future, then you're not doubting. You're not having fear. You're not thinking about rejection. Just having your thoughts majority of the time in a good space instead of a bad space. So we're in your house or we're on your phone or we're on the things that are always around you. Should you have constant reminders of your future? Everywhere, all the time. And it's not giving up stuff that's negative, right? That's what people do. The reason we don't do things in life is because we look at everything we're giving away and no longer doing as a sacrifice. It's the opposite. Again, like if you can imagine someone like Jesus, if you're not religious, and they're asking you to give them the little teddy bear, and then in the image you see behind them is a large teddy bear. It's just our lack of focus of knowing that we're not listening and focused on good versus bad. So I know I've said this over and over again, but when you hear people that stack plastic cups for a living, or throw darts, or skip rocks, or draw stick cats, the reason I always show you guys these things, because I need you to know what they do to me. It's another thing for me to get the sign from whatever's giving us the sign that when people find something that they enjoy doing and they love doing it, that it has, I mean, how many people do you guys think you could go to and say, hey, have you seen this guy? He's got the Guinness Book of World Records, and he makes a full-time income by skipping rocks on water. How many of you have ever thrown a rock? Well, you threw that opportunity away, didn't you? Do you guys know anything that you can imagine people are doing to make money? Have you guys ever seen a slingshot? Wait a minute. I did see one of those when I was a kid. I made them. Just like I made nunchucks. And most kids wouldn't make them so that I could sell them to them. I love selling nunchucks. It's great. Made them all day. Got the chain. You want to hear where I got the chain from? I told you, I had a bad childhood. Kids would put locks on their bicycles. I could pick one of those locks in 10 seconds. Practice. You could pull the chain and move one number at a time, and you'd see it move over to the left. And you move the next one, it move over to the left. Move the next one, it move over to the left. Just pulling on tension. Next one, it open. I'd never steal the bike. I steal the lock because I needed the chain. That's the chain. Hook the nunchucks together. Cut up broomsticks. Everyone in my neighborhood, you better not leave a mop or a broom or a rake outside because I needed a stick. Right? Then I'd cut the stick and then drill a hole in it this way and then drill a hole in it sideways. Put tape around it, drop the chain in it, and then I melted weights off tires. So if you're driving and your car was, I was the guy that took the weights off your tires. So I would melt those down, and then once I melted it down, I could pour it in the hole, and it would hook the chain to the wood, go sideways, put a nice little electric tape around it, had a pair of nunchucks. Maybe I've been imaginating for a long time. So all these kids were buying nunchucks in school or slingshots. That's another way I made money. Any one of you sell stuff to other kids? Okay, well, we won't talk about what, all right? But that's early entrepreneurship, right? That was your imagination working as a kid. So I hope you enjoyed this first part of Imaginators because I need to start imagining. I need to start imagining. I need to start imagining. I need to turn into an Imaginator, and I need the super skills to be able to immediately change my mind into imaginating. Bob and I were going back and forth with AMA yesterday, and I just, I brought up to him that thing. Have any one of you ever did anything for somebody and it gave you joy? When I learned the concept of the more I give, the more I get, I went all in. All day, every day, anyone that knows me or been around me, I am planting seeds all day, every day, nonstop, doing my best to give to people that have ears to hear. And the more I give, the more I get. So if he wasn't on the AMA, I brought this up. I'm not aware. You guys can help me if you know something. But on 4/20, my wife's birthday, we made over $30,000 in that one day. from things I've been doing for the last 6 years, which is building my wife a business so she doesn't have to worry about money. Do you guys realize if you're the one that sent Terry an affiliate link, what's 30% of 30,000? 9 grand. For sending one person a link? Let that play with your mind a little bit. Because if you're using MDC as a way to generate cash flow through leverage, residual, and compounding so you could do what you want to do all day long, one person. Can you imagine finding one person that went, been praying for this? Thank you very much. Get the hell out of the way. Bam. Listen closely, you guys. Listen closely. If you don't imagine that, it's not going to happen. How many of you going, oh, only one guy? Yeah, this doesn't happen to me. I don't have any money, and people think I'm an idiot. There's no way I'm going to find one person. You're imagining the wrong freaking way. My largest group for the 420 sale is always the Hungary and Romanian group. Out of the 300, I forget what it was, 340 or something like that, they did 290,000. The Hungarian and the European team. So when you guys see the monthly call that Josh does every month, when he does the May call, you're going to see the majority of rank advancements are again coming from my group and Hungary and Romania, the two poorest countries in Europe. There's people that use this sale and the sale over November. And I have groups in Europe that push 2 sales for MDC a year and make enough money to cover their whole year. Okay. So if you go, no, I don't believe if I just brought one person in. Well, guess what? The guy that brought in all the people that are underneath him, yeah, I think he's turning 30 this year. He's younger than Matt. And his name is Tomas Istvan. Found me on YouTube, liked my videos, reached out to me 5 years ago, got in the business, rest is history. Why can this happen to me, but can't happen to you? One word: imagination. Okay, I want to go to super. I need 5 people. I need 5 people. Let me see, a million divided by 5. I need 5 250Ks. 250K and make about 300,000 a year. I need to find people that want to make 300,000 a year. Is that a different person than you're sponsoring? Where do I find them? From people that don't want to make 300,000. You guys know, so I build somebody else's imagination and I go, Peter, Linda, listen, Linda, listen, Linda. How many people have seen that one? I never thought about that. That's Peter. That's Peter. Linda, listen, Linda. Okay. How many of you have used imagination on your spouse or significant other? See, this is called promise, right? honey, you know, we could do, sweetheart, you know, we could do this, we could do this. Karen's going, I'm traveling the world to every NASCAR track. It's like, that's the kind of imagination. So I can show Peter and Linda the plan. And I say to Peter and Linda, how much do we need to make? And Peter goes, I want to make 25 grand a month. And Linda says 50. It's 50. Okay. I go, it's easy. We need to do 500,000 in volume. And they go, wow. I said, what if we just found two other people that each wanted to make 300,000 a year? We got one on the left, one on the right. You're done. No, I'd rather reach out to people that don't know what they want, that doesn't have imagination, that thinks everything sucks and that it's scam and is too good to be true. I'm just going to work through all of those people. Wow. I want to make those people imagine and get them to introduce me to the 2 or 3 best friends they know. Hey, do you know anyone that's got a bunch of toys? Do you know anyone that drives new vehicles? Do you know anyone? Yeah, I do. I know this girl, Sandy, and her husband, they just love life. I think they just bought a new vehicle. Yeah, you got to talk to Sandy. And when you find the right people, it's funny. They have money, they have time because they make time, they change their priorities, and they also have a center of influence. And then you guys reach out to people and they say, do I have to talk to people? Can I not talk to my family and friends? Can I just run ads and find other people that don't have a dream? Can I do that? Yeah, you can do anything to postpone your imagination. You can do that all day. Just stay distracted doing shit that doesn't work, and it'll just keep you from your imagination. So let me do something here quick. I just had to get off my soapbox. Ah! No, I'm kidding. All right. I don't know where my mind goes sometimes. Craig, back to you.
You know what, though, Robert? Sometimes that soapbox is needed to help give us a swift kick in the you know what. So,
All right. I love you.
love you too. Thank
You
you
guys
all
get
very much.
anything out of that? You're not making people, if you're not turning people into imaginators for a temporary time, everybody says, well, I want to sign them up. I want them to buy a package. I want them to get brand bucks. I want them to put a list together. I want them to go through the training. What do you think I want from a person? The best person they know. Training and explaining and going through all the facts and figures does nothing but make them yawn. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but this is when you need to shut up. When someone yawns through their nose, you ever seen that? Yeah. That's like, hey, you never asked me a damn question. You're just too busy talking and sending me freaking links. Okay. I done jumped off. I quit. Go ahead, Greg.
No problem, Robert. Thank you. Okay, so I see that Santa Corky has his hand up. Santa Corky, open up and share. Let's get this thing going even more than what Robert has already shared and imparted on all of us. Wow.
Wow, that was good. That was good. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Craig.
How are you doing, Corky? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're
I
okay.
know I do my thing about the time that you guys get to go on, and
You got to change your damn schedule.
I'm going to.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Just for you. Just for you. Yeah, I'm doing really good. I had a couple questions specifically that I
Please.
wanted to talk to you about. And I had uh done just done the Cheer Choice Awards and had the most phenomenal weekend I've ever experienced in life in my old age.
Cool.
Yeah,
What'd you do? What'd you do again?
it was the Cheer Choice Awards for Spread the Cheer USA. It's a foundation that gives presents during Christmas, of course, is how they started, but now they do it throughout the year. And it started by me being nominated for an award for it. So we made it to the top 5. I didn't win, but I found out it
Rigged.
was the
Rigged.
top it was the top award for the whole Cheer Choice Awards. And just to be in that category,
Wow.
thank you,
Congratulations.
Lord. Yeah, yeah.
How many people were there?
Oh, there's probably 2,000. Yeah.
Was it recorded?
Some of it is. I'm waiting to find out. They're putting it all together. There was a company that put it live. It's called Connect TV, but they were having all kinds of issues. So I don't know if they got it recorded or not. My wife
Did
and
someone at
friends,
least record you?
oh, several creators all over were recording. It'll show up. I think some of it'll be on there. But I was able to, be in the top 5, and that was cool. And it was really cool. I thought of you, Robert. The winners were a couple that adopted kids, and they had 18 kids, and they have content all around that. And I went, they get it. They deserve it. They're the one. It blessed me to no end. I'm
Wow.
sitting there
Wow.
going,
Wow.
oh, I wished I would have had this so Robert could see it. They're just an amazing couple. And they
Well, I'm
had
sure
18.
you can find out their names and stuff for
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They were in my category. So, yeah, I can find that out and I'll let you know. Um, and then I had the experience of several people more than on my hand, and a few crying come up to me. And what a difference that my little page made in their life at a time that was real difficult for them last year or this Christmas because deaths in the family or divorces or a child died or I mean just it was just overwhelming. But
Uh,
Robert, I
that
came home.
that never, ever, 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 ever will get old.
No, no. And I'm going to get to the question, get to the thing I want to talk to the group, you and the group about.
I think everyone's enjoying your testimony. We always do, Dorothy.
Oh, well, thank you. And that comes up to one of the things that spurred this off is this imposter syndrome thing. And I'm going to leave that on the shelf for a minute. But I come home and my wife, we decided that she needed to stay home because it was some grandkid stuff. And we just decided it would be best if she stayed home. And I'm just so sorry she missed a ton of that. But I'm explaining to her on the back porch. It's a nice sunny day. The day after I got back, we're sitting and I'm just going over the weekend. But I had this, and I love calling it because that's what you call them. I had this download when I'm sitting there trying to explain to my wife what had happened. I mean, I
Yeah.
could go on and on with huge creators, way bigger than me, that wants to connect, that wants all kinds of cool stuff, you know. But the download I got when I'm explaining, I go, honey, I have to stop here because I started talking about this imposter syndrome thing. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I got this thought of God, my heavenly Father said to me, son, I love you. Good job. You are doing exactly what I asked you to do, the best way you knew how to do it. And to me, it was like me and God were sitting on the sidelines of the football team, and God and saying, good touchdown. You made a good score. You hit the
Yes.
ball just right. You ran up and you did it. You stayed consistent. You're working out good. You keep going. And it was like my father, which I never had. I've never heard my biological dad tell me, I love you. I never had my stepdad tell me, I love you. I've never had any of that experience of being on the sideline. And I used to be in football and I'd look at those dads with their sons and I go, man, what's that feel like?
Yeah.
I know what that feels like now, Robert. I know what that feels like is when I got it. I got that. And that's something I've missed all my life. And here I'll be
Oh,
in a couple
thank you.
months. And I got to hear that for the first time. And it was just, I just started bawling with my wife, and she come up and
Oh my
put her
God.
arms around me, bless her heart. You know,
Yeah.
it was just a wonderful moment. Well, that speared off this conversation. Thank you for letting me share that. But it speared off this conversation that I was saying. I says, why is it that I have this imposter syndrome? And so I have a very good friend that's he's a huge psychiatrist, and he leads a men's group which I just started being a part of not too long ago to help guide young men and families and boys. And it's a men's group. I mean, it's a warriors. The guy does amazing work.
Very cool.
But I get to be in his elite group where there's only 3 of us that he's wanting to train for certain reasons. And um, I told him about this imposter syndrome. And he asked me this question, and I wanted to talk to you about it.
Please.
Is he'd go, Santa, who are you doing this for? And what is the main thing? And I've
What
heard
is
you
the
talk
main
about the
thing?
main thing. I went, oh, Robert. Oh, Robert. Oh, Robert. So, um, that question, who are you doing this for? And this was just last Tuesday. And I told him I'd do some homework, I'd work on it. And we meet every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. And he says, I want to talk to you about it. But you have to write out some stuff. And I have gone all over the place of who is this for? I can't, I'm going to, I'm getting better. But it come down to me, what am I passionate about? What's the passion for? Why? I don't know.
You
I
know, you just allowed Dino to talk you out of it.
know I've been fighting that. And what I imagine, what I always imagine is being able to go and fly to different hospitals, to orphanages, to that's what I think about the most. I get invited to go to a lot of different things, but that is my imagination, and that's all I can think of. Who's it for? Now I think all kinds of stuff. I'm kind of all over on this thing. Is, well, financially this has been a pretty good ride. Looks like TikTok may be going away by the way that things look. They passed all the stuff that they need to,
Yeah,
but there's still some time.
if they can't pass the bill, if they can't pass the bill the way it should be passed, then let's just put it in along with a couple other bills that if
Heard that.
someone says something, if someone says, I'm not going to give money to Israel and Ukraine, see, now you look like you're a disturbed person, you're an awful person. So we're just going to slip the TikTok bill in the middle of those two things so people have to vote for it.
Exactly.
It's so irritating. It's so irritating.
Right. Exactly. And
Thanks, Democrat and Biden.
right.
Thank you very much. No,
Unbelievable.
I'm
Unbelievable. I can't believe you said that. Yeah, I can.
I'm
Yeah, I know.
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm just
Oh,
joking.
you're going to start a fire. People are going to be shooting each other here.
Okay. So let's
But
get back.
the thing is, the other part of that is what's the main thing? Well, I kind of have an idea what the main thing is. Bring joy, happiness, and kindness with
Okay.
passion. That's all I think about is how that's all I imagine is how I can get this more in front of people the best I can. And
Bingo. Okay, now listen to this. Listen to this.
all right.
When you heard from your father that I'm love you and I'm proud of you, can you give me another thing that emotionally made you feel that way?
When I'm able to do that to somebody else.
That's how simple
I
our
live for that.
connection with a higher power is so the things that make us emotional is usually, Corky, our gift.
Yes.
Okay. So when there's things that happen to us and it chokes us up and it takes us emotionally sort of out of control, which that, believe it or not, is the deepest connection. And listen closely at that moment.
Yes.
At that moment. So what we need is to consistently be connected, and we get these aha moments, these downloads to remind us, wow, how many people out there need to hear this?
Right.
And so if you thought of the last year, and that last year, if you had to, I need to know your 5 biggest emotional moments in the last year.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah.
were they?
Well, about 3 of them happened this weekend, but there's several. Do you
Okay.
want to hear them
So
or no? Or just
did
wanted
you
me?
go to this event? Of course you went to this event. A, you were nominated. Golly, that is evidence, 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 evidence that you're doing the right thing. On top of you being nominated, they ask you to give away one of the awards.
With a motivational speech.
Evidence, 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 evidence that you're doing the right thing. And if God or the universe couldn't put any more on top of this, there was people that seeked you out.
Oh,
And
Rob, I had right at the end this one guy, he's 28 years old, had his 5-year-old son with him. He won an award for parenting. And he's the one that come up, the last person to see me, the last person to really get to talk to me. And he put his arms around me. He's sobbing, telling me what a difference I made because of his wife last year passing away. And he's raising his son by himself and he wins this award. He's thanking me. He's thanking me that he got this award with his arms around me. Wouldn't not I didn't want to push him away, but just hung on with bawling, a 28-year-old kid. And
so did he tell
that
you,
changed my life. That changed my life.
did he tell you what you did for him?
He just kept going, don't stop what you're doing. You made all the difference in my life. When it was dark, when it was so dark, you were there for me to just sit and listen to you and listen to what you do. Don't quit what you're doing. Please, sobbing, don't quit. Don't quit.
There's your answer. So
We get so caught up, I get caught up in all the accolades and
we all do.
the
We
money, the
all do.
accolades, I wonder why I'm doing when the views are down, I'm not making as much money, I'm not doing it, but I just have to remember him. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There's always 2 feelings that we're feeling.
yeah.
One is obvious because of the way we feel. The other one is obvious because of the way that we feel.
Ah, I don't
Did
like
you
that.
see? So if I could have took that moments in time that happened this weekend and you write their names down so that, yep, that's what I'm doing. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Yep, that's what I'm doing.
I like that.
Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is a distraction.
What then? Because I've had someone else say this may be a distraction or not, but I have an author that is a published author that wants to write my story. And I feel so bad. I feel like that needs to get out there, because that's how I turned my life around. I read a book of somebody I really respected, and I went and got on my knees and said, Lord,
And
you
it
got,
clicked.
so, and he even has, or it's a she that's doing it, but someone else said, I even have the cover for you. And it would be me walking with my Santa suit over. This is the cover, and it just made me tear up. My Santa suit over my shoulder, but I have a bottle of vodka in the other hand for the cover. Yeah, that's what Robert, just seeing you make that expression, because
Yeah,
I
that's
came from that. I came from
so.
that.
So why do you think this person being led to you is a distraction?
I don't know. I just had somebody, my friend that asked
This
me
why.
these
This is
questions.
why. Because I'm not going to write a book until I inspired somebody, and then that inspired person said, I want to write a book about you.
Right,
I said, go. I inspired another person that wrote a book about me.
right.
If people come to you and go, I'm inspired, I want to do this, what do you need from me? When people are inspired to do something, they don't need anything from you.
Mm.
You know how Lori wrote this book about me? Watching my videos I recorded on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
How much of your life have you shared on TikTok?
They know all my life. A
There's your
lot.
book.
They know
There's your
my
book.
heart, yeah,
There's
everything.
your book. Hey, if I can jump on a Zoom with you to clarify some questions, some other things that you need to know, let's schedule them. Go do it.
Yeah.
When we sell it, what kind of cut do you want to give me? I don't know. You were inspired to write the book. Give me whatever you feel like giving me.
Right. Wow.
So when people bring things to you, it's not to distract you. It's to make your bigger imagination happen.
Yeah. Yes.
I want to do a movie about you. Get after it. I want to do this. Get after it. Go. The ones that need something from you, money, they're the wrong people.
Oh, I've ran into a bunch of those. Holy cow.
As soon as they ask you for money, now they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Oh, here's a guy that's kicking ass on TikTok, making money. I'll tell him some stuff that he needs to do, and he can give me money.
Mm-hmm.
How many hours do you think that how many hours has Craig Jackman give to Robert Hollis?
Holy cow. You're all over the place. Every time you're popping up all over, I see different stuff and I go, I know Craig is just beating it hard because I see you all over shorts, longs, out of
And
nowhere here.
Craig did all of this stuff for Robert Hollis and other people, and he never asked for a fucking dime.
Yeah.
So on a scale to 1 to 10, how many of you think that I do my best to take care of Craig?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not by saying Craig makes me feel very uniquely different than anybody else on the planet. And my goal is to make sure that Craig Jackman knows how much I love and appreciate him. And I got his back on anything.
Yep. Yep.
So Craig told me for years, you know, I'd like to do plays. I'd like to be an actor. I'd like to do this and I'd like to do that. And I don't know how many other friends he has in his back pocket that keeps pushing him in that direction. But all of a sudden he started doing it. And I'm glad that he did it. So that's what a friend is. Thank you, Deb. Is to allow someone to share their imagination with you and then do everything in your power to make it happen for them. So we live in a world today that when people are seeking you out and want to help you, they want to be a part of your imagination, Corky.
Yeah, I'm starting to finally get that. And I never understood that before. I did not. I
Yeah.
thought, how come you're jumping in like this? And I have a moderator that Elf Carmen, I call her Elf Carmen, but she's been on every live. She has not missed a live. Not one live. And yeah, anyway.
So
And I
that's when
wanna
you
do
know,
so much
that's
to
when
help
you
her.
know, that's when you're know that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Just trust the instinct. As soon as it comes from stop giving, it makes you emotional, you know, it's giving you goosebumps, it's choking you up, that you know, that guy with his son hugging you is seared in a good way on your heart and your spirit and your soul.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that you're constantly going for until that no longer gives you what you want.
Mhm.
Do you ever see a time where you're going to be tired of that happening to you?
Not at all. Not at all. I want to do something for my daughter.
Listen, that's called your legacy.
Oh, yeah.
Just always go for another person sending you a message, telling you what you did. Just, how did I get that? The people that have made the biggest difference in my life to send me messages all the time, you know what I mean? Is I'm always reaching back out to them because I want to find out what the next level for them is.
Yes. Yes. I just had a thought. I lost it, but oh, I know what it was. Something that always rings in my mind, and I heard it from you years ago, is when somebody tells their story, are you in that story? If they're telling,
Yes.
and that pushes me. That
Yeah.
pushes me. Am I part of their story?
Yeah.
And what part of their story? And I have an ex-wife that I'm in a whole different part of her story. Um,
I resemble that remark. You
but
know
my
what I think is,
legacy is to turn all that around.
yeah, yeah.
Am
It's
I in their story? Am I inspiring?
That was another thing, believe it or not, that Jim Rohn told me, is not only to make sure that people are saying your name forever, that you were one of the catalysts that sort of whipped them into making a decision
Yeah,
to change their lives in so many ways, so many ways.
right.
But the other thing that Jim Rohn would always tell me is that when someone tells a negative story about you, the person actually thinks you're talking about the wrong person.
Right?
When they're talking about you in a negative way, they
Right.
go, now that's I don't know who else is an imposter out there being quirky Santa, but it's not the guy that I see,
Right.
the guy I watch. There is no better deal to that, you
Right.
know? And
Yeah.
so I don't have a clue what my ex thinks about me. But life has allowed me to continue just to be the best person. I can honestly say that I was the total opposite person when she met me and married me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that I didn't know about everything.
Right. Right.
I,
No, I
I
get
don't
that.
know. I don't know if you do this same thing, but every once in a while I'll see a picture, in high school, and I'm like, why did that guy get married? That guy was clueless on everything. You know what I mean? It's like I had
Yes.
right trying to be responsible for two other people back then. Gee whiz, that's pretty weird how that happens.
Right.
So, um, Corky, I know we talked about this before, but I'm being led to share this with you. And for those of you that are still trying to figure out what your spiritual connection is, work on that. Ask yourself what that is for you,
Yes.
because it will give you joy. But I know Corky, so that's why I'm going to be very forward with him. A lot of people read the positive stories in the Bible about them and what's promised to us, and then there's warnings in there, right?
Yes.
And one of the warnings that I constantly remember is that as soon as you experience that moment of that guy telling you what you did for him, it's sad that it's written scriptural that somebody's there to take it away immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't say a week from now or a couple of days from now. You'll notice in your highest highs that something seems to trigger us so we lose it.
That was the imposter syndrome. The next after it was all over. Like, why am I feeling like this after all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Dead
So
on.
you don't stay connected.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, oh my God. If I just told a story, please, I'm not a biblical scholar or any organized religion scholar. It's like this deal where not only to steal it immediately, but let's just imagine, Imaginators, right? Let's just imagine that there is Darth Vaders of the world. And if you notice, it always seems like the people on the dark side have some pretty good skills as well,
Yeah.
right? They don't have the ultimate skills, but they got skills. And it's like when something like that happened to you, you got to think of that dark force going, we're totally going to lose him. We're going to, he's almost indestructible. What is the best triggers? Come on, let's give him the best triggers. What are they? We got to get him to feel like he's not enough, that all this is sort of a bullshit imagination, that he's not worthy. That one day, I know we'll tell him, one day everyone's going to really know who this guy is. We're going to expose the really dark side that he has.
See, he couldn't get me at the pool party drinking. That
Hell
pool
no.
party was crazy. I mean, that was the first part of my speech and it just came to me as I'm walking on the stage. I said, "Hey, I was at the pool party and I seen some of you guys what goes on because the music and all the wokeness, I guess, and
Yeah.
all the stuff and the drinking and the music and everything. He couldn't get me there. He
Mm-mm.
tried. I had a
Wait a
couple,
minute. He used that trick on the older Corky.
right. Oh, totally. Yeah, he couldn't get me. I mean, I had two ladies wanted to sing me Santa Baby up in their room. And I'm an old man, you know.
Yeah, they would.
I
Can
mean,
you
it was just
imagine how many
nonstop.
of you can imagine getting Corky Santa that has a large following on your OnlyFans account? Man, dang, man. Like,
Oh, sorry about that. But no, I'm not.
what?
It was the
Don't
most,
be sorry about that.
it's the
It's
most
like,
strangest thing that, I mean, I have never been in that situation. I thought we partied pretty cool when I was 30, but these
no,
kids nowadays,
these people are basically raising the standards for sure.
I
I like
walked
what
onto the
I like
stage.
what
I said, I
Jamie
went,
said. Jamie said, "Ho ho ho."
right. And I went ho 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 to somebody that had said that. She goes, "Oh, you know my name 3 times." I looked at her like, "What? What?" Yeah. So I
Yeah,
walked on the stage and I said, "Hey, I saw you at the pool party, and you guys were coming up saying you were on the nice list, or you've been a good girl or a good boy." I said, "Man, some of you guys need Jesus." And
yeah,
everybody just roared, it was funny. It was, I mean, but I was somewhat serious, like, "Oh my gosh." But
yeah.
I got to see it. It was great to see it helped me a whole lot to be in that situation. But how he got me was the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Ready to quit.
Yep.
Like, I'm just,
See, what triggers us on that is the wrong imagination of where we could be 3 years from now. Instead of that moment with that guy.
yes. Thank you, Robert.
It's it's just getting our vision away from uh that one moment. That one moment. And so that could be, man, if TikTok disappears and I still haven't replaced my income from TikTok on YouTube. I don't understand YouTube well enough. Maybe I should be
Going
doing some
on,
other platforms, on and on and on. And Corky, so I can drive this home for you. All
please.
right. Okay. I am human. And so that means that the same distractions I just told you about and other people here, I still have those triggers
Wow.
because I'm human. All right. So me and Matt were talking and Craig were talking, and we're all learning as fast as we can about YouTube, and we know that we're gonna make it happen. And then for us, it was very obvious. I heard from 3 different sources that YouTube it just does not promote lives. They just don't promote them. So then, if they're not going to promote them, why in the hell do them?
Well, I've heard they're going to, or they're wanting to push them harder.
Okay. And so what I did is I stopped doing my daily,
Yeah, I was wondering why you came back.
um, because of the feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I get incredible joy out of doing the lives. And then when I stopped them, I was getting messages every day like, "Oh my God, I wish you did a live. Wow,
Oh,
I sure miss your lives," and all of this stuff, right? And then as soon as that happened, then all of a sudden I went, "Matt, Craig, I know we're learning that this doesn't work, but I'm going to take personal responsibility. I don't care. I'm doing lives every day. I feel inspired to do it, and I'm going to bring them back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to ask anything from you two guys. I'm just going to load it up when next morning when I get up. I'm going to download it myself, re-upload the video, And I'm just going to leave the one that they don't promote on there. And I'm just going to put download it. There's a button, 3 dots. I download the video that I did live. And then next morning, just re-upload it. Same title, same everything.
Huh.
And I probably had 40 people that reached out to me that said, thank you.
I wished I would have, because
Yeah. They go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that. And I went, that makes me feel good.
Right.
And so all of a sudden I'm looking at we've only been doing it for a week. And then all of a sudden I look at the analytics in the back of YouTube, and they're back over $1,000 a month. I'm going like, because when I do those and people find out who I am and what I stand for, all of a sudden I lost all my super chats. Because people like doing super chats on my lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw that revenue away that goes to people that I love and children that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Because a couple of people said YouTube doesn't do anything to those.
Mm-hmm.
So see, I'm human.
Yeah.
So I went back to what makes me feel good. I went back to, and I didn't see the stuff that Matt is putting up here, but like you said, Corky, do what gives you joy and allow our Heavenly Father to orchestrate the things that will make it work.
That's so dead on, Robert. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Corky, I know that there's this big thing going on with like banning TikTok right now, but YouTube is heavily going to be pushing vertical lives. They've already implemented them into the shorts feed. So now just like TikTok, when you scroll through, you'll see sometimes people are live. I 100% know without a shadow of a doubt that YouTube will replace everything to do with TikTok and make it so much easier, because then they'll go to your YouTube channel and have all your long form content and your longer lives there on top of your vertical lives and everything. So it is very exciting.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's one of the directions that people and I are going, is that. And I also now have Too Naughty, Too Nice podcasts that we're pushing quite a bit. I have so many cool creators coming on to this. I mean, yeah, it's just really beautiful.
You moved that to a separate channel, by the way, so everyone go to it and subscribe. I'm gonna post it here in chat.
Too TOO, Too Naughty, Too Nice.
I gotcha.
And then Quirky is we're gonna turn that more into a kids thing. I'm going to do a taste test video today that these little elves are going to help me do it. It's a taste challenge. You know what I'm talking about? The stuff's behind a cardboard box. I don't know what it is. So anyway, but then I'm pretty excited about our podcast that you guys have been on. So, and we're trying to change that a little bit. We're evolving, trying to, just out there trying to make it happen. And but thank you.
Do you feel it now? Do you know?
I feel lifted. I feel a weight off my shoulder in a way.
Yeah.
I feel a weight off my shoulder.
So I'll give you a little mantra that I do. All right. And it's again called awareness. So I love telling the story, because when people know the story, it's like, let's be honest to what it really is. So, so I show you a red card. And you're looking at it and you're like, I don't know what you're doing. And then I slap you, Corky. And I mean, enough for you to get startled.
Like those slap contests.
Yeah, not that hard. I don't think I'd ever want to hurt anybody. All right. but I get you to look at it, right? So then what you're doing, I don't know what that is. And then I hold up another red card. Okay. You immediately moved away.
Right.
Maybe put your arms up. See, that's called when you learn something. See how we always defeat ourselves by saying, I always get caught up in triggers. I always get caught up in getting my joy steered away. I always get distracted. I got HADDDDDD. And see, we constantly throw words out into the universe to allow that dark side to use them to defeat us. And we're aware immediately. So now here's the thing. If I'm about ready to share something that made me feel and know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm connected,
Yes.
that God's giving me the right signs, as soon as that happens, Corky, look for the red card. Look, so this guy tells you you're emotional, he's crying, you're going, I never imagined when I decided to be Corky, Santa, that my YouTube would take off this big, that I would be nominated, that I would be asked to do a motivational speak and see who's the winner of the next award. I didn't think that these people would come out and do this to me. And now that all this is happening to me, look for the red card. The red card is, I'm going to steal this shit from you, Corky. I'm going to steal it from you right frickin' now.
Yeah.
So when something good to me happens, now I'm aware. I'm like, where's the red card? Where's the red card? All of a sudden I get a thought and I'm like, nope. I say it out loud. You're not stealing my joy. You're not stealing my joy.
Yeah.
You're not stealing I say it out of my mouth.
Good point. I love that.
Because there was something that I learned from another guy, that when our mouth speaks, our ears stop to listen. So in sharing this with you guys, this is so powerful. And I've done it in front of large groups of people. I love you, Corky. I wish I was there to give
Thank
you a
you
big.
so much. This is so good.
I knew that would hit you. And well, of course, he knew that would hit you.
Right. Right.
Okay. So I know, I know. So this guy that shared this with me said, are you good at listening to directions? I said, yes, I am. He goes, I need you to count out loud from 1 to 10. And he said, go. So Corky, I want you to out loud count to 10 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What's your name?
8, 9, 10.
Now, I asked you if you're good at following directions. And I said, say your name. Why didn't you say your name?
I was concentrating on the first mission.
Yeah, absolutely. So most people will say their name, but then they won't continue to count. The reason why is because we're too busy thinking, because someone said follow the directions. So when a distraction happened, you ignored it. Why can you ignore distractions now in front of me, but can't do it in your own life?
Oh, Robert. That's why I love you. Good stuff, Robert. Good stuff.
So as soon as my energy changes, my frequency changes, I'm not in the tractor beam. I'm not plugged in. I can tell it. I can tell it. And so I open up my mouth because my ears are listening. I go, no way, you're not stealing this joy away from me. Stronger is he that's in me than he that's in the world.
Amen. Yeah.
He's giving me joy. He gave me the promises to be rich with no regret. No regret. No weapon formed against me will prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. Get out. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. Who am I talking to?
The enemy,
Everything. Everything. Because
every
most of the time, Corky, that's me.
right?
That's
Yes.
me. It's not other people don't bother me anymore. It's me. So I'm going to keep practicing. Oh, you're pulling up the red card. You want me to blow this up? And the other ones are obvious. See, they got you before. They got me
Yes.
when I was young too. Hey, Santa, maybe you and I can spend a little time together. It's like, boy, that worked in the past.
It's not working today.
Not working today. Not working today. And you don't have to insult her. You don't have to insult him. You just get the giggle and laugh.
Oh, my wife called. I got to give her a. Let's cut that off right now. Mrs. Claus just called me. Dang it.
all these offers, just open your mouth and go, that sounded interesting. Is that something, is that a distraction, or is that going to allow me to impact more people? Is that
Yeah, the other one that I have a key part of being able to maybe get Coca-Cola to sponsor next year's event, which launches me into wherever.
Yeah.
So I have 2 people come up to me and want to talk to us about Coca-Cola sponsoring. So I mean, yeah, there's another one, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and the more impact you have, the more things are going to come at you.
oh,
So
yeah,
so
that's true.
yeah, when you got 20 million followers.
Right.
So how do you sort that out?
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy. You keep going back and asking for help.
Right. Right.
See, there doesn't feel
And the other
good.
part of that, I've always said that if you're going to get past it, and I use it for recovering from addiction, is that you need God and another human being in your life. You need somebody here on
Yeah.
earth to guide you. And Robert, I have my friend, my best friend, that we've walked through life together and we're doing good now. But then to get to the next level that's why Imaginators is in my life now. I believe
Yeah.
that.
If you ever,
I needed this meeting.
yeah.
And
Yeah. I know you did.
God gives me all the answers and God gives me a direction to go, but we still need that guy to go, hey,
I
Stu,
got your back.
this way.
I got your back. Anytime that you're uncertain about a direction that you should take, if you needed me on a Zoom, you needed me on a meeting, you need
Yeah.
me to fly someplace to do a meeting with you, I want to be one of the people on your team.
Wow. Thank you, Robert.
Because I get to step in there with the gift of discernment, and I got your back.
Yes, 100%, 110% for sure.
So I wouldn't be looking at doing anything just to make sure that people are looking at you as your long-term best interest.
Right. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
This help you?
Oh my gosh. I'm ready to go live here in about 15 minutes. So
Okay. Well,
I hate to jump off early, but I'm going to hang on here for a little bit because I want to hear.
Oh, no,
I don't see any more hands up.
I know everyone got what they needed from you today, Corky. Again, raise your hand, put a heart and flames in.
Thank you.
You definitely was the lesson for today, my friend. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. And all you other Imaginators.
So whenever you're feeling the opposite of what you felt with, I wish I knew his first name. Do you remember his first name?
I don't. Michael, sorry, I do. I just found out because as in TikTok, everybody has their profile name and his is Chaotic Soul. And but I didn't get his name when he was talking to me. So then I went and I did a little research and found it. So his
Smart
name's
man.
Michael. His name's Michael.
So
He'll be on my podcast too.
yeah, some places, someplace, somewhere where you're doing your most thinking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm bold when I say this. It's either in my chair, on my laptop, in my office, or on the toilet.
Right.
Okay.
No,
There's my three places.
right.
Just put in there, ask, what are the three words that describe the moment with Michael?
Okay.
So put moment with Michael, and then I want you to put the three words that you felt the most. And now what you're doing is you're just going from one Michael moment to another Michael moment to another Michael moment to another Michael moment to another Michael moment. And people that, in my opinion, are not doing the right things are people that don't have any Michael moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you know you're doing it right, is when
You're doing
people,
the right thing.
you're doing the right thing. I still have people that reach out to me that I met before I was in this business. Because most of us, I think, are good. So I went to one high school reunion, and all these people from the special ed side,
Mm-hmm.
they all walked up to me. And I looked at them, Tammy, get up and give her a hug. She starts crying. I go, what's wrong? She goes, you're the only person that paid attention to me in high school.
Wow.
You always said my name. You always smiled at me. You
Wow.
always asked me how I was doing. And she says, I see you today, and you're the same damn person that made me feel good in high school. You always stuck up for me and the other kids.
Nice.
I always sat with them during lunch. I didn't want to be a part of the other cliques.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't interested in being part. So the reason I got in so much trouble when I was young is because I always was the person that I wish someone was there for me.
Mm. I
So when
get
you
that.
talk about those no
I
father
get that.
moments, showing up and I got a Pine Derby car that I made myself, and everyone else there's got their dad
Mm-hmm.
and their
Been,
mom, and I'm all
been
by
there.
myself. It's like yeah, everybody's like, Bobby doesn't have any parents.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was weird too that, when I was in adopted homes, I don't know why they never would ever, why those guys didn't step up. You know what I mean? Oh, I
Yeah.
remember. I remember they had their own children. Yeah, they showed up for them.
Yeah.
So, the things that made me feel not good, I didn't want other people to experience that.
Amen. Yes.
And I found that early in my life. That was my only hero moments. And like skipping the rock, that was fixing people's bikes and snowmobiles and motorcycles, or kids that didn't have bikes. I would get a bunch of parts together and make one for them and give it to them. And then when I got older, I did that for cars. And my skipping rock point was that 16-year-old kid put a Corvette motor in a Vega.
Wow.
That
That's
was
awesome.
my skipping rock. It's
Yeah.
like, and everyone was mad at me. They're going, all you did is put a large horsepower motor in the lightest car. That's all you did.
At 16.
And yeah. And they go, that's all you really did. And I go, and to think that you know what I did and refuse to do it.
Yeah.
I go, I don't care how much horsepower you put in an SS Chevelle. It weighs 3,800 frickin' pounds. My car weighs 1,500 pounds less than yours.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I love SS Chevelles. Well, then suffer.
Yeah.
And
I'll see
so,
you in my rear view mirror.
here's the thought, and we'll close it out. I thought this morning in my prayer time, my download time, my connecting time, if I went back and had a high school reunion with all the guys that are in their 60s now and went, what happened to your car dreams? We all had cars.
Mhm.
We all raced each other. And I have the fastest car I've ever driven in my garage.
Mhm.
And just like they made fun of the Vega, they'd
They'll
make
be
fun of the Tesla Tab.
Tesla. You're right.
And I'd go, listen, I beat your ass when I was 16, and I'm going to beat your ass right now. It's like, well, I don't even have a car. You know what I mean? Good.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what the hell are you talking about? We all talked about getting motorcycles. So we all had motorcycles. Where's your motorcycle now? I got out of cars and motorcycles. Now I got a Harley Fat Boy sitting in a garage and a car that can do 9 seconds in the quarter mile at 152 miles an hour. It's like I didn't give up on my imagination. Why'd you give up on yours?
Mhm.
Well, there's no way I could afford that much for one of those cars. If you're doing what I'm doing, I'll show you how. I'm not gonna talk to people and help them out. It's like I knew that about you when I was young.
Mhm.
I knew you were all about you when I was young. How's that working out for you? So when you start making sure that other people get moments in their lives,
Mhm.
how many seeds can you plant? How fast can you plant them?
Right.
I love you, brother.
Love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Proud of you, proud of you, proud of you.
Thank you. God bless you.
You know this is recorded.
Right?
Soon as you get, as soon as you get Darth Vader out there whipping around his stupid lightsaber,
Right?
you gotta watch this video and just let Yoda fight him.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to do these spins and these rolls and everything. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, man. Love all of you.
Thank you.
Corky, thank you so very much. Wow. I hope everybody got some great knowledge bombs out of that one. Raise your hands. Yeah, definitely. And thank you, Corky, for letting us experience that
Thank you.
very
God
much.
bless you. Thank you.
Before we wrap up, I got to also give a shout out to Melody Ryba, who donated to the super chat. And thank you so very, very much, Melody. We love you. We appreciate you. Love you and your heart as well. And if you do want to donate in the super chat, very simple to do. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the $sign at the very bottom of the chat and then go ahead and donate. All of the money goes to charities, okay, that Robert supports. We love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you. And Santa Corky, thank you so much for being here and sharing with us today. We
Thank you.
so appreciate it. And we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. There's some things in the chat. If you'd like to get that information, click on the three dots that are part of the meeting chat. It's next to the title of this Zoomcast. Then click on Save Chat. It will download to your computer. And yeah. Do we want to have Matt contribute to anything at the moment? Matt, do you have anything that you would like to share before we do
If
wrap
there
up?
No, if there was anybody that had anything, but at the same time, I feel like the value that we got from having Corky on here to share with you and Dad. I mean, Dad, you helping Corky out, and Corky, you being kind enough to share all of that with us. I feel like everybody benefited so much from that I feel like the change of pace to go to something else would just be different. So if you guys do have any questions, just post them in the Imaginators chat. You can find that by just going to roberthollis.com/Telegram, and you can sign up for that. And then if you have any questions, just post them in there. So
there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Imaginators, wow. I could do it. I could do a big one, but you know what? This time you just need that. Wow. So, bless you all. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. I'm going to go ahead and open up as we say so long. And until next time, please be good to yourselves. Be cash and bye-bye. Until next time.
Thank you,
guys.
Craig.
Bye. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much.
Matt.
Great show.
So
thanks,
much.
Dad. Thanks, Corky.
Thank
you,
you,
everybody.
Hi.
Thank
you, Karen.
Thank you, Santa Corky.
Thank you,
All right.
Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dab. Thank you,
Robert.
David.
Thank
Melody,
you,
I
Robert,
love you. Thanks for the
Joe,
donation.
Peter,
God bless.
Mike, Greg,
Thank
Good to
you.
be
Thank
on
you.
here, guys.
Corky,
Thank you all so much.
Daniel,
Bob,
Mary,
James,
Eric,
Lola.
Jamie.
Later, Matthew.
Hola from Sweden.
Hello, Robert. Bye bye.
Bob was
Later,
supposed to be on his
Melody.
game already. Is he watching it in the
Jamie,
background?
Lola,
Hi,
David.
Glad you
Mike.
joined us, Robert. God bless.
Mike. Thanks,
Each
Bill.
and every
Peter
one.
and
God
Linda,
bless
I
you.
love you.
Hi, we love you so much. Thank you for